President Obama invited unemployed Americans to the White House for a discussion about income inequality. Because if there's one way to show sympathy for the unemployed, it's to invite them to a giant white mansion that you live in for free.
And talk income. Hey, joining us right now, a longtime friend of this program. You knew him first as Superman. Now he's got a new show we're going to talk to folks about called Looking for Bigfoot, where you could win big money.
10 million is big money.
10 million, that's big money.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Cain joins
Hey.
us.
Welcome back, Dean.
morning.
Thank you. I have to admit, we're sitting this way because I asked Steve if I could sit next to Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I did.
I'll tell you what, I went
Honored
away,
to
I
sit by
came back,
you.
there was another guy with black hair in my spot. I was a little bit jealous. I thought I'm old news right away.
He's Superman. You
You
know,
are Superman.
he was just talking about unemployment. The president was talking about the importance of unemployment. You know what it's like. You have been on unemployment as a struggling actor before.
Yes. Well, the thing is, 99 weeks, I mean, that's 2 years. If I couldn't work, if I didn't work for 2 years, first of all, I'd go insane. But, I mean, it just doesn't happen in Hollywood. They forget who you are. I just think it's an incredibly long period of time. It's an incredibly long period of time. And, you know, 99 weeks, that's just... see some of the movies I've done? Do you think I wanted to do all of those movies? I mean, I'll be honest. You sometimes have to go to work.
You take a
Maybe
job.
it's not the job you want, but you take the job.
Sure.
Dean,
And
in your
that's-
profession in particular, you do everything except what you want to do because you want to do what you want to do. For example, you'll take an extra, you'll waiter at night, you'll do things, you'll clean out different offices, whatever it takes to keep your dream going because you need money to live.
But that's the way it should be for everybody. And I really think everybody should. I mean, I could find a job tomorrow if it wasn't, you know, if I wasn't an actor. I'd find something to do. Or I'd find it within a short period of time. I promise you it wouldn't take me 99 weeks, and I wouldn't be sitting there living off the government for 99 weeks.
I want to get your reaction to this because the president said yesterday that there are pros to extending unemployment benefits. And listen to his math, and then we'll ask you.
And this insurance helps keep food on the table while Dad is sending out resumes. It helps Mom pay the rent while she's learning new skills to earn that new job. It provides that extra bit of security so that losing your job doesn't mean that you have to lose your house or everything you've worked so hard to build for years.
Well, saying that, you know, that there's a safety net, that's a great thing. I think when people need that, of course, you know, to have that insurance. But to say that it actually creates jobs, which is what he went on to say, seems peculiar.
Well, I go back to the whole thing, you know, government doesn't create jobs. They just don't. That's not the government's business. They can create a climate where jobs can be created, but they don't create jobs. And every time I hear this will help create jobs, this will help create jobs, I go deaf.
Sure. You know, how many times have we heard in the last year or two the Democrats say, well, you know, the economy has recovered. We're in the recovery. Actually, I think we're 55 months into the recovery. And then
That's a long time.
It is a long time. And then last year, the president said, you know, the private sector is doing fine. Well, if we're in a recovery, the private sector is doing fine.
Why extend unemployment benefits? It doesn't make sense.
There
to me.
are some people who do need it.
Agreed, but 26 weeks, that makes more sense to me. That's a safety net. It's not a free pass, and somebody's paying for that, and it's me, and it's you, and it's people who are out there working, and that's tough.
All right, now let's talk about something else that you're you're in the middle of, being a parent. Now, you know that your son does things very well, and there's other things he doesn't do well. Do you know they've just done a study?
Wait a minute, just things my son doesn't do well?
I apologize for that. I'm just saying hypothetically.
His son does everything well.
Right,
it's Superman. Are you crazy?
I think we have. This might be a tough study for Dean to go through. But they say one of the worst things you could do for your kid is praise them for things that they don't do well, because it actually diminishes their self-esteem. Do you subscribe to this?
Praisification.
I'm going to take that guy and pop him in the nose. Listen, my son, I know the things he does well and things he doesn't, and I'm pretty honest with him, but I do encourage him. I mean, maybe I'm guilty of it, because I do like to praise my son, but I do tell him, you know, you're very good at this. This is someplace you need some work, and if you want to get better at this, you have to work at it. But, you know, I'm not going to tell him you're the greatest artist I've ever seen, because, you know, he might not be.
Right.
He's not Van Gogh in that sense. But I'm pretty real with my son.
That's good. That's
He's
good
13
advice.
now. He's a man. He's not even a child.
Right, he's
Can I ask
basically
you
raising himself now. I mean, he can go out on his own.
That's why I'm here.
Right.
He's up. He's driving himself to school.
That's
13, no
fantastic.
What are the
Hands
kind of
off.
rules, though, in all seriousness, in terms of tech and Instagram and that? Where do you draw the line there?
no Facebook for him.
Okay.
I know the password to
Are you kidding? How do you do that?
I will beat him. No, I'm kidding. I just know he doesn't. I worry about that because there's so much pressure with the kids and the things that are going on. He does Instagram. He can do.
Right.
I know the password to every single device he has, and the rule is if I go in to grab one of his devices and take a look at something, if I can't get in, it flies. It's gone. It's mine now.
Snapchat?
It's over.
Can he have
Great rule.
Snapchat?
Cannot have Snapchat. He can have Instagram, and he can text his friends, and I'll check the texts. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm reading your text. Do you have a problem with that? And he's
That's
like,
great.
No, go ahead, read it.
Do you worry about him? A lot of kids now are not socially as adept because they text every time. They're not calling the house anymore. They're on different devices.
You know what? He'll sit and play, games or talk to his friends on Skype and things, and it's just different. I remember I always talk on the phone with my friends, and my father would get mad at me. Get off the phone! What are you doing? Go see your friend. And nowadays, like my son can't go run out and play all day and then come in at dark. I don't
Like you used to be able to do that.
You can't do that, so it's more difficult for those guys. But when he wrote I want to go, I want to see you, and he used the letter U in a paper instead of Y-O-U, I was like, hey. Enough. You can text your
wrong with
friends,
Y-O-U?
but let's write the words on your paper. Okay?
Let's use
do it
all the
right.
letters you've been given, right?
Yeah.
All right, the reason you're here officially
Is to see Elizabeth.
is and right behind that, from her to Bigfoot.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Somebody could wind up with $10 million if they can find Bigfoot. First of all, it's a brand new show on Spike TV. Do you believe that there's a Bigfoot out there?
Okay, but since I've already shot the show, I can't say definitively whether I believe there's a Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Yeti out there. But I will say this. I started off as a major skeptic.
Right.
And I'm much less skeptical now.
Really?
Than I was.
Wow.
We shot this thing in 4 different states. We were in places where we would drive for 5 hours.
Like what states?
Washington State, Oregon, Northern California, way Northern California.
A lot of forest.
And Michigan. So much forest that you can't see anything else. There's no cell reception. There's nothing. We were places where I don't think people have been either ever or in decades.
This is a competition. Is it 2 research teams?
Well, there are 9 teams of 2, and we have. It's very
It's a
scientific.
reality show.
It's a reality show.
Why didn't you call her? She's great out in the wild.
She was fantastic. She would have done well out there in
Not
the middle of all
anymore.
this.
Let's watch a little, Dean.
It's time for your first field test. Field tests are
your
designed
arm.
to prove to us that you have the essential skills needed to track down Bigfoot. Today, you'll need to show us that you can collect DNA from wild animals, because a DNA sample from Bigfoot could win you $10 million.
$10 million.
I love
Who
this show
gets
already.
people who wins? I can't. Not me. I didn't win it, and that makes me angry.
How exciting.
So the thing about it is, we have 9 teams of 2. They go out and they look for. We have field tests first, then we have a hunt, and if they can find definitive DNA and visual proof, backed by Lloyd's of London, they win $10
What do
million.
you mean
Wow.
definitive DNA? Who knows what Bigfoot DNA is?
A non-human primate. And we have Dr. Todd Disotell of New York University. He would be there within 6 hours. He
What
can
if
tell
it's
you.
monkey blood?
He would know in a heartbeat.
So
Really?
exciting.
All right.
Oh, I love
Dean,
the show
the
already.
question is, do you think Bigfoot, once we find him, let's be honest, there is one.
Or her.
Do you think that they'll be friendly, they'll want to live with us once they realize how much fun we are as people?
Probably not.
I'm going to stay in the woods naked, where people never comment that you can see
Is
my
she or
butt.
There'll be a
Bigfoot
big
speaking?
This is
escape.
Bigfoot.
Okay. All right. So watch Dean's brand new show Fridays at 10 o'clock on Spike TV.
It's quite entertaining. Please
All
do.
right. Very nicely done.
Congratulations.
Would you like to?
Thanks for that.
Would you like to introduce the next person on our television show?
Absolutely. Well, I see an extreme weather alert, right? Okay, so you couldn't even escape the cold down south. Look at those icicles hanging from the bumper of a car in Florida. Oh, my gosh.
That's right.
In Florida?
It
Don't act
is.
surprised. Act like you rehearsed this so you're not as surprised.
No, I'm surprised. I don't rehearse anything.
Maria Molina knows all about it. She's our super gal who's out on the streets of New York City.
Yeah, you know what? That license plate is from Fort Walton Beach in Florida. That's in the Panhandle,
Yeah.
where some places were actually colder in parts of the Panhandle of Florida than in Alaska, specifically Pensacola. You were in the low 20s. It was a little bit warmer than that in Anchorage, Alaska. And by the way, Superman, he's from Kansas. You can't escape the cold in Kansas either. Take a look at some of those current wind chills out there. Kansas City, it currently feels like 16 degrees as you head out the door. In Atlanta, Georgia, it feels like 9 degrees. So even portions of Georgia, which earlier this week actually had some reported snowfall out there. Otherwise, high temperatures a little better in Minneapolis. You are going to make it above 0 degrees. The high temperature out there forecast to be 2 degrees. And by the way, we do have some new winter weather advisories that were issued in portions of the Mid-South. We're expecting some freezing rain and also some wintry mix to fall out here in parts of Arkansas, Missouri, and eastern Oklahoma. And as we toss it back inside, I do want to mention, of course, lake effect snow, another big issue. Lake effect snow warnings off of the Great Lakes. Another 6 to 12 inches expected. 21 inches already fell in Watertown, New York. Let's head back inside.
All right, Maria, thank you very much. We've had weather across the country much like your native planet of Krypton.
Yeah, it's very horrible.
It's
It's terrible here.
Except in Los Angeles, it was like 68 degrees and absolutely beautiful.
Right.
I'm just saying.
It escaped the cold. It escaped the cold.
Thank you very much
Thanks
for
for
coming.
having me. I
We
appreciate
can't
Safe
afford the
travels
taxes. We're
back.
staying here.
I can't either.
You and Phil Mickelson.
Thanks for being with us.
All right, up